Yo guys, what is up? What is up? Dar is back in Star Trek Online. Okay, so today we're going to take a break from our leveling series, which I'm actually going to work on tonight if I can. And the reason being is because we are on the 3rd anniversary for Star Trek Online. I don't remember the first year anniversary. I don't remember what we got, but second year anniversary we got the Odyssey class, and this year we're getting another ship. Alright, so this is my science officer, and we're going to go pick up the mission so we can get a new ship. They just made this mission, for this anniversary. It will be gone, after, on the 14th of January or February. I'm sorry. And yeah, I've played through it twice on my main engineer, and then on my tactical, she's only level 48. And I'm gonna play with it on my vice admiral, engineer or science officer here, and we are gonna look at it. So I will say this is probably one of the best missions in the game so far. It's pretty much fully voiceover. And it's just really cool. It's cool cutscenes in it, and all that good stuff. So that's about all the spoilers I'm going to give so far. And I will warn you, if you have not done this yet, this is going to be heavily spoiled. And yeah, if you're not going to do it, then I would definitely recommend going, watching this. If you're too low level or you haven't started the game yet. If you haven't started the game, I suggest starting it now, because this mission will be unavailable on the 14th, and you will not be able to get the new ship unless you buy it from the C-Store. I'm sure they'll put it on the C-Store like they did with the Odyssey from last year. Let's see, what else? I don't really remember. There was something else there, but I don't remember. So we're going to go ahead and we're going to talk to the engineer here. Actually, let me turn this up just a smidge. We can turn it down and edit if need be. Options, see, audio. Turn it up about 42 ought to work. Alright, and here we go. Now we talk to the engineer. And we pick up Temporal Ambassador. Admiral, we've detected an anomaly, in the Azura Nebula. Because the Tholian activity in that area, we're concerned they may be attempting to open a rift to the mirror universe. I need a ship to go out there and check it out. Oh, and you do have to be a level 7 lieutenant in order to get this mission. That's what else I was going to say. So you see here we pick up, we'll get 2 ships. We'll get a commander ship, and we'll get a rear admiral ship, and then we'll get yesterday's Enterprise uniform, which I haven't even looked at on the other characters yet. And I also get a title, Temporal Ambassador or something like that. Alright, so we have to go to the Azura Nebula, which is located in the thru sector block, which is where the new Romulans are, and investigate the anomaly. So accept and exit, and then we will beam to our ship. Make sure I got space here. Alright, and we're in space, and this is my carrier ship that I like. I try to stay pretty true to Trek, but the species that created the ship, the Cathar or whatever, they're part of the Federation. So, and then I kind of rationalize it by, well, Vulcan's part of the Federation. All these different species are part of the Federation, and it's logical to assume that they would have some of their own ships, and not just rely on Starfleet. Kind of like the UN, relies on America, England, and so forth for their troops. They don't have just the UN troops. So kind of the same difference. Alright, so yeah, I bought this ship. I don't really, the look, it's a cool look. Kind of looks like a variation of Robin the Warbird, actually. This ship I do not agree with having on a Federation, with Federation captain, the Jem'Hadar. I don't agree with the Ferengi ships. I don't agree with the Cardassian ships. Temporal ships are different because they're still Federation ships, right? They're just from a different time. You know, I think these ships are cool. You know, I would like to have a Cardassian ship or a Dominion ship, but I would like to have a Dominion or Cardassian faction, you know, and be running that captain to run that ship, if that makes any sense. You know, the way they set this game up, you are part of Starfleet, so a Starfleet officer would not be running that ship. Alright, so let's take off here. Go to the system. And we're gonna go do our mission. Unfortunately, I'm not gonna get to use this ship in any kind of space combat because, well, that's just the mission. But yeah, the only reason I bought this thing was because, you know, Federation needed carriers, and I hated the fact the Federation didn't have characters. That's why I have a science officer on the Klingon side with the carriers, because I wanted the cool carriers. So, yeah, no, I'm not joining your fleet. So, yeah, that's why I have the ship. And it is canon. You know, I do remember one old game, Star Trek game, had Worf voiceover on it and stuff from, I think it was on the PlayStation 1. And the Federation had carrier ships, and your job in the game or whatever, you was a pilot of one of those fighters. So yeah, it did exist at some point, maybe not in game, but you know, and then you know, in the movies and TV shows, you know, they had the Peregrine fighters and stuff. You see a lot of them in Deep Space Nine. So one has to assume that there was a ship that either brought them there or they came under their own power. What is my speed on this one? 9.97 to use slipstream. Now my engineer regular warp, I do 15 or 15.5. But he's an engineer, of course, so he's got all that extra powered engines. So at transwarp we hit warp 20. So it gets us there a little bit faster. But yeah, that's the reason why I got this. It's just because, you know, I love the carriers. The whole idea of the carrier was just awesome. So I got the ship. I haven't bought any of the other ones. See, what is it? The, oops. Overshot my target. Good ridiculous. And I'm lagging. Yay! Yeah, it's pure internet by satellite. Horrible, horrible invention. But this is Friday night that I'm recording this, so in 1 week from today, yeah, look at that. That is just fucking ridiculous. And 1 week from today, I will be getting DSL, so I'm not gonna have this lag and shit any longer. Alright guys, I am back, and let's see where we're at here. Yeah, we had to cut it there, mainly because we lost internet connection. The internet just went down, and got it back up again, so I thought I'd continue on, and yeah, they're bringing the servers down in an hour and a half, again, for maintenance. Apparently, I mean, I haven't noticed anything myself, but apparently they're having a lot of problems since they introduced this new mission, these new ships, you know, the 3rd anniversary. Every day since the anniversary's been out, they've pulled the server down anywhere between an hour to 4 hours to do maintenance on it. So yeah, they've got something jacked up. Excuse me. But let's be honest, this is one of those games where there's always something out there that's jacked up, so. Alright, we're almost there, so we're not going to worry about slipstream. Yeah, I don't know. When I go back and edit all this and stuff, I'm going to have to cut off part of that, last part of that other segment there. So I don't know where where at this point where I'm going to cut it off yet. So we're still in this sector. And we're heading over, there we go. Warp over here and head to that nebula so that we can do stuff. I'm not going to say what because I don't want to ruin it. I've already, like I said, I've already run this mission twice on 2 of my other characters. Mainly so I had a feel for it and knew what I was doing and stuff for when I recorded. Alright, so we're going over here to the Asara Nebula. Turn! Yeah, this is supposedly a science ship, but man, it handles and everything like a heavy cruiser. I mean, it's almost identical, the way it feels and stuff, the handling of it and everything, it's almost identical to, flying the galaxy. That's a Klingon vessel. Oh, okay, that's it. That's the Klingon version of what they gave when they gave the Federation the Odyssey. That's what they gave the Klingons. I was like, looking at it at first, I was like, what the hell is that? As you can see, there's a few of them up here. This is white smoke, code red A, Zeeks, Australia. Yes, that's Australia. The Cornelius. I just think that's funny because USS, that comes from American naval ships. And then you have the name like Australia. I think it's humorous. Alright, so begin Temporal Ambassador. And even though my jaw's kind of swollen still at the moment, I'm able to talk a little bit better than I was in my last video. So I'm going to try to cover some of the voiceover work a little bit. Captain, Starfleet reports that space-time anomaly has been seen in this area of space, with Tholian activity in the region. They wanted us to check it out and see what we can learn. I have it on sensors, sir. Locking in coordinates now. So we have to investigate the nebula. Going at full impulse. Yeah, I still have my bridge crew back in the background there because I wanted to leave this up. So I just kind of moved my board over top. Alright, let's hit full impulse. Slow down and poof, be gone. This is odd. I am no longer detecting anything in front of us, but I'm picking up a similar or possibly the same anomaly in a new location. I've updated the coordinates on the map. Okay, so it's somewhere over yonder here. And hit a boost. There it is. I call it the boost. To me, this is full impulse. When you hit the button, then here it's kind of a boost. And it disappeared again. It happened again. The anomaly jumped to a new location. It can't keep doing this forever, sir. We need to get close enough for a sensor scan. Where is my evasive maneuvers? I just kind of set all this up here the other day, my bar, so I'm kind of getting used to where stuff is. D7 battlecruiser disappeared. Not again. Science team is working on extending active sensor range, Captain. New coordinates locked in. Alright. Ambassador class. The anomaly is holding steady. It is ready. Blah, blah, blah. Okay, it's moving too quick. Let's just use our sensors and scan the anomaly. Anomaly. Whatever. Hey, I turned into a freighter. My uniform's all jacked up. Of course, I'm still wearing a low-cut shirt. That's weird. It's like the top of my dress. Permission granted. You are authorized at Docking Bay 3. Sound like Tholians. Okay, we're loading. Loading. There we go. Let's check and check my. Oh, hey man. Let's check the volume. Nope, volume should be good there. Alright. So, this guy, Franklin Drake. It's one of the guys at Earth Space Dock. Can't remember which one, but I know him.
Do you have a question?
I'm back with the Teskia shipment.
Thank you, Captain. The Tholian Assembly appreciates your loyalty. So many ship captains threw away their lives needlessly in the days after they annexed this area of space. It'll take a few hours to offload your cargo. Feel free to grab a hot meal in the commissary. I know that comforts can be hard to come by in this sector. I recommend the plomig soup. It almost tastes like something.
Alright, thank you.
Do you need anything else?
See, now we can talk to him and learn the story and try to, pinpoint him into our reality, or what we're used to.
My name is Franklin Drake. I was born on a little colony world on the edge of Cardassian space. After the Federation fell to the Klingons, a lot of people moved out of the war zones to try to make new lives. It worked. For a while. When the Bajorans discovered that wormhole and the Dominion invaded, no world, no matter how remote, was safe. I signed on to help fight the Dominion, for all the good that did. The Dominion swallowed the Bajorans whole, and then joined up with the Breen and the Cardassians to destroy the Klingons and the Romulans. After that, it was just a matter of carving up the Alpha Quadrant. The Tholians got this piece of space in exchange for signing a non-aggression pact with the Dominion. It wasn't hard to see that the only way to survive was to sign on. Now I'm like you. I work for the Tholians, and in exchange I get a cot, a couple of replicated meals, and the chance to live for one more day. With a little luck, I'll get through tomorrow, too. Do you need anything else?
So in this reality, the Dominion won the war, probably because of a weakened Federation from a Federation Klingon war. It doesn't sound like, so far it doesn't sound like, during the Dominion invasion, the Federation, Romulan, or Klingons, kind of teamed up. There's 507, my Borg engineering officer. Let's talk to her. Hello. Tell me about yourself. I am 507. I have been here for 6 weeks now, working on the cargo bays. I'm pretty good at fixing things, even though the worn-out junk the Tellians give us. Oh, even the worn-out junk. Okay, you look familiar. So do you. Have you been in any other work camps in this sector? Nope. Maybe it's a sign. Okay, there's somebody over here to talk to. Who's this? Detan. He was one of the Romulans you had a lot of dealing with in the Romulan campaign.
Hello.
Hello. Tell me about yourself.
For all I know, you could be informing on me to the Tholians. And if I don't answer, you'll probably tell them I'm hiding something. Fine.
Wish the background speaker announcements and stuff would shut the hell up so we could hear these guys a little bit better.
My name is Detan. I was born on Romulus. After the war, I signed on to a freighter crew working the Bolian run. My captain got in trouble with the Tholians, and I ended up here. I'm a true and loyal servant of the Tholians, and I don't want any trouble. Now go away and leave me alone. I have work to do.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Don't bother me.
He's one of those, if I remember right, he was one of the high officers or Tal Shiar operative. And he was kind of like a badass kind of thing, and now he's a piece of shit wussy. Little pussy ass motherfucker. Waste of life. Wish I could pull up my face and shoot him. Alright. Now, in when I played this with my other characters, I look like that. You know, I had the jumpsuit on and everything. Even my Klingon female had the same jumpsuit. But this one here, we're scrolling, it's like the top of my dress with the pants. That's weird. Alright. Use my treble, put on some buffs just for shits and giggles. Alright. All kinds of people in here to talk to. Let's go this way first. And that is my Jim Hadar, Chief of Security. Hello. Tell me about yourself. I am Aruma Khan. Because I never renamed him. But most people around here call me Chief. I do a little bit of everything. Security, ship work, cargo hauling, anything that pays and will get me to the next port. Why would they call him Chief? Chief is an engineer's designation, and he's security. You look familiar. Yeah, let's see. I've seen you around. Weren't you the one who got caught cheating at that Tongo game on Droza? Heard the Ferengi had his Nausicaan buddies break both your arms. How long were you out of action? You got me mistaken on somebody else. Goodbye, bumphead. Alright. Morn! Cork's Bar. Not as fat, but still just as ugly. Talk to Morn. ... Explain yourself. ... Yep, that sounds about like one. Morn never spoke. Can't expect it to change here. Salmek. I don't remember who Salmek was. Part of the Riemann resistance, I'm sure.
It's too bright in here.
Tell me about yourself.
Why would you care about me? No one cares about me. I don't even care anymore. Go away. Go away. And leave me alone.
Fuck you too, buddy. He's not very polite. Damn sure don't remember this guy.
Have we met?
I remember the voice, but I don't remember the guy.
You're just asking to be polite, aren't you? I find idle chatter so tedious these days. Still, it's a way to pass the time. My name is Rugen Skyle. I used to be a member of the Cardassian government until I had a conflict with a rival faction. Politics on my world can be quite cutthroat. Now I'm here. It's better than execution, but only just. The food here is terrible, and the company is worse.
See, his mouth moves when he talks.
Another question?
Oh, goodbye. Let's see, who's this? Taylor, she's from Starfleet.
Yes. My name is Tanae, and for many years I served in Starfleet. After the war was lost, I joined a resistance movement attempting to liberate the core worlds. We failed. We were able to keep the Klingons at bay, but not the Dominion and their allies. After the Breen destroyed Earth and the Dominion occupied Betazed, continued resistance was illogical. Against all reason, we continued our fight as our resistance cells fell, one by one. You might say I was one of the fortunate ones. I survived. I would not agree.
Vulcans. Psh.
Do you require anything else?
Exit. Alright, now this guy here, he plays a pivotal role in a lot of your missions, you know, from Starfleet. But we're going to listen to him, and then I want you to pause the video afterwards and tell me in the section below if this guy does not sound like Commander Shran from Enterprise, the show Enterprise. It's not him, I don't think it's him, but it sounds a lot like him, I think.
How can I assist you?
Tell me about yourself.
I'm Valkel Sean, captain of the Belfast. I run freight for the Tholians. Basic supplies, mostly. But once in a while, they need me to pick up dilithium from the mines on Remus. We're in dock here for a few days getting some repairs done. Cut too close to the Konos blast zone on my last trip back, and ran into some raiders. They won't trouble anyone again. But they fused half my power conduits and fried the deflector before I managed to take them out.
See, I like how their mouth moves when they talk. Now, I know it's not the same voice actor, but it does sound a lot like him. And it's not identical, but a lot, I think, anyway. Alright.
If there's anything else you need,
nope, that's about
let
it.
me know.
And this guy, Ovasek, leader of the Riemann Resistance. Big player in the game.
I will be free.
Tell me about yourself.
My name is Obasek. Once my people served the Romulans. Now we have new masters. I will serve for now, because to refuse would be my death. But when the time is right, we'll rise up against our oppressors and destroy them. If you would be free, watch for an opportunity. The Tholians will show their weakness soon enough. Do not waste my time.
That's all Obasek had to say. I really liked Obasek. He was a really cool character in the game. And a lot of these guys, you're getting, if you haven't already played the game, you haven't gone through the missions, you're gonna meet a lot of them, as we go through our playthrough.
This place isn't what it's supposed to be.
Tell me about yourself, whoever you are. Neelan.
My name is Neelan. I am a wanderer, if you will. I go from place to place, listening to the universe, to the people. And then I look at you in this place, and I can't explain it, but it's wrong. All of it. You're not supposed to be here. None of us are.
Yeah?
Something's not right here.
Can you tell me what's supposed to happen? Okay, apparently I have to read this. Because he's not talking now. I can't see it clearly. I just know something is wrong. That woman over there, does she have a daughter? Someone named Sela? I know that's important, but there's a lot of other things. I'm sorry. It's difficult for me to put into words. What can I tell you? Is that if someone asks for your help, give it. And that will set things right. Okay.
Something's not right here.
We're gonna save that person over there for last. There's one other person up here to talk to first. That person's kind of a big one, so we're gonna save that one for last. Ferric.
You looking for something?
This is the girl you met, or we will meet when we do the some of the Dominion episodes. Tell me about yourself.
I'm Ferric. Wheeling and dealing is my game. At least it was, until the webheads put a stop to any trade that doesn't benefit them. Still, I know how to get a few things. You were looking for bonus replicator rations? Maybe a bottle of authentic pre-war Romulan ale? If you've got something to trade, I've got what you need.
Yep, every prison has to have one.
I got things to do here.
Remember the longest yard? That's this person's version of Cheeseburger Eddie. Has somebody over here? No. Now there's one guy over here. I completely missed him. Now, this guy we are going to meet in just our next few videos on our Let's Play. Buffet.
What do you want?
Buffet? Bavat? Something like that. Bavat. That's it. Tell me about yourself.
My name is Bavat. Before the Tholians conquered the Empire, I was the leader of a great house. I sat on the High Council and spoke for the Empire on more than a dozen worlds. None of that matters now. The past is nothing to a slave. I will die here in service to the Tholians, just like you will.
Alrighty. He's definitely
Ask your questions.
definitely a glass is half empty, or never had water in it to begin with. Let's see if everybody remembers this one.
We need your help.
Lieutenant Tasha Yar, explain yourself.
My name is Tasha Yar. I was Chief Tactical Officer of the USS Enterprise D. In my timeline, we were fighting a war against the Klingons, and I was proud to do my part to protect the Federation. What I learned, though, in the correct timeline, history as it should be, I died a meaningless death. I accepted the risks when I put on the uniform, and I don't regret what happened. But if I'm going to die, I want it to mean something. That's why I chose to go back with the Enterprise C. I know this is a lot to accept, but you have to trust us.
So basically I just gave you a quick review of, you know, what happened. I can't remember the name of the episode, but when the Enterprise C came through that temporal rift and met up with the Enterprise D and you know, Captain Picard, you know, and you know, everybody was there, and they were in that war with the Klingons that was not supposed to be happening. And shit, what's her name? The bartender, played by Whoopi Goldberg, you know, told Tasha that she was not supposed to be there. All she knows is that she was supposed to be dead. In the proper reality, she was dead. But anywho, let's get some food. Humanoid supplement 47, please. Doesn't look very tasty.
Haven't seen you around here before, Captain.
Richard Costello. Now, I know for a fact this is not the right voice actor from the TV show. Of course, he was just a guest star. It was the only episode he was in, but I know that's not the right voice.
Got a minute to talk?
Let's go tell him about yourself.
Call me Castillo. Not a lot to tell, I guess. I'm Lieutenant J.G. Richard Castillo, Helm Officer of the USS Enterprise C, an unwilling time traveler. I'm normally the Helm Officer, but I'm Senior Officer now that Captain Garrett and the rest of the senior staff are gone. We've got to do what the Captain would want. Get us back to where we belong, and finish what we set out to do. I know this is hard to accept, but we're not supposed to be here.
So basically, in that episode, when the Enterprise C entered the rift to set things right and fight the Romulans, defending that, you know, while defending that Klingon outpost, they didn't make it back. The rift somehow got hit a fork in the road, I guess, and came to this reality rather than a proper one. And here we are.
I know. I asked around about you, and I don't know if I'm supposed to be telling you this, but I need your help. You're not supposed to be here. None of us are.
Alright guys, and we continue on. I am sorry about that. Yeah, internet dropped again. Gotta love this shit. Like I said, 1 week, and we can start getting DSL and we have a reliable connection. Alright, here we go. Back where we were, we asked him about himself, learned about, you know, how the Enterprise C and everything. Now we're back to, I'm new here.
I know. I asked around about you, and I don't know if I'm supposed to be telling you this, but I need your help. You're not supposed to be here. None of us are. Not in this timeline, I mean. My ship, my crew. We were supposed to do something important. We went through an anomaly, moved through time, and everything changed. We tried to go back. I guess the battle with the Klingons disrupted the anomaly. Instead of getting back where we belong, we ended up here with the Tholians running everything. I'd never even seen a Tholian before. You have to help us set things right. You have to help us get back to our ship.
Alright, and who is us?
Me and my crew. There are a little over 100 of us here, scattered throughout the work camp. We're about 65 years ahead of where we should be, according to my math. We were fighting the Romulans. This was back in 2344. And the weapons discharges caused a temporal rift. We passed through, and because we weren't at Narendra to do what we were supposed to do, the timeline changed.
Okay.
We ended up in a timeline where the Federation and the Klingon Empire were at war. The Federation was losing, badly. We tried to go back to set things right. Then the Klingons found us, and the Enterprise D. There's someone here with us from that timeline. Her name is Tasha. I'll take you to her. Maybe she can help explain this.
So yeah, just give us the backstory on that episode of Next Generation. And lead on. So now we have to follow this guy. This needs to be fixed. He stops. And he stops. And he stops. And he stops. Unless my titties are rubbing his back, he, you know, pretty much stops. If you try to run on ahead, because you know he's going over there to Tasha, he stands there waiting for you to get back behind him again. So maybe that needs to be fixed in this hour shutdown thing. It's kind of a pain in the ass. But in all honesty, there's no more need to run this mission than once to get your ship. You know, once on each of your characters that you have, so. Alright, so we've talked to him. Now we need to talk to Tasha again.
We need your help.
We've got a new option here. What's going on here?
I'm from Starfleet, and if I'm right, that's a name that should ring bells with you as well. In an alternate timeline from this one, the correct one, Starfleet is still alive and well, and you're a Starfleet officer too. When the Enterprise C moved ahead in time, it created an alternate timeline, one in which I was alive but shouldn't have been. I left with the Enterprise to set things right. We thought we were returning to the Narendra system in 2344 to defend the Klingon colony there from a Romulan attack. We ended up in this nebula in 2409. The Tholians caught us before we could try again, and you can guess the rest. We're going to try to restore the timeline, but to do so, we need the Enterprise C. It's still in the hangar here, and as soon as we get back to her, we'll find the temporal rift and get back to where and when we're supposed to be. To do that, we need your help.
Cat on me. What do you need me to do? Oh, wrong button.
Franklin Drake is already helping us. He managed to get an access key used to operate the systems in the hangar control room. We need you to get the code from Drake and use it to open the doors to the hangar control room. I'd go myself, but we've already been here a week. The Tholians know we're trying to get back to the ship. They're watching us. But you're new. They won't suspect you're involved. That's the idea, at least.
Okay.
Of course, it's not as simple as getting the code and opening the door. The Tholians have guards on all critical areas. You'll need to slip past the guards and get into the maintenance tunnels. From there, it's a winding maze to the hangar control room, which can only be unlocked from the inside. Once you get in, you'll be able to open the doors. We'll be waiting there to help you free the Enterprise.
Okay, I know they paid this girl a lot of money to do the voice acting for her character here in game. But damn, she's long-winded.
Here, take this communicator. It's on a scrambled frequency the Tholians don't monitor, and it'll allow me to contact you while you're on the move. Maybe you can convince someone to cause a distraction. That might make slipping past the guards into the tunnels easier.
Convince someone to cause a distraction. Thank you. Alright, so now we need to get the key from Franklin and then get somebody to cause a distraction. And we're kind of going to do this the quick way because I've already found the person in the previous attempts, or in the previous characters, who will cause a distraction, so. And we kind of got a ways to go yet. It's a lot faster when you don't listen to everybody, and when you don't, you just go for the green text. Okay, this is my objective. Okay, this is my objective. It's a lot faster to run. I mean, a ton faster. But when you sit here and listen to everybody and read everything, then it, which is what we're doing for the sake of a video, it tends to make it run longer.
Do you have a question?
Yeah, Costello said you have a key for me.
Take it. Here's a map too. You'll need it in the tunnels. I still don't know why I'm risking my neck for this. Don't expect any more help from me. The Federation fell before I was born. I shouldn't even care, but there's something about Yar and Castillo. I know they believe they can make a difference. Makes me want to believe.
Thank you. I'll take the risk now.
You need anything else?
Yeah, I need you to fuck off. Thank you. Alright, so now we're gonna go up here. Gonna run. Try to cut out as much as this time. This thing is just running way too long, but I am not gonna break this video up into 2 parts. Just because it's the 3rd anniversary mission for the Federation, and the same case is gonna be when I cover the Klingons. Although we're gonna be doing that one on my first experience because I only had one Klingon officer. Alright, talk to Valken.
How can I assist you?
Valtel, whatever. So I need you to create a diversion for us. We need to reach the control room.
I don't remember the Federation or Starfleet. The war was almost over before I was born. This is the only life I know. One of servitude, deprivation, loss. I want something better. That freedom my parents and grandparents told me about. I want the Federation back. I'll help. Just tell me what you need.
Wah, blah, blah, blah. Come on. Everybody. Alright, get your blue ass over there. Cause a distraction. So now my job is to wait for the distraction.
Hey, get down here, you big salt shaker.
You big salt shaker? Yeah, that's what that was a hell of an insult.
Hey, get down.
Next time somebody pisses you off, that's what you need to do. Just call them a big salt shaker. Not fuck you, not jackass, not dickhead, not you stupid bastard. Nope, go salt shaker. That'll really tell them there. Alright. So now we have to enter these tubes. Maintenance tunnels. I can see down my shirt. Okay. Come on.
Well done. Those maintenance tunnels are a maze. They make navigating the Jeffries tubes on the Enterprise look easy. I recommend using the map to keep track of where you've been, what doors lead away from which room, and where you are currently.
Blah blah navigate tunnels. And just for future reference, yeah, I do not make it a habit of being on my hands and knees through, tight areas. I'm just saying. Alright, hit mirror map, you notice it's all fucked up. Hand drawn map. This is where you are, these are the corridors. Right over here is where we're headed. Alright, there's usually an accolade and some things to do here, so let's start heading through here. Try to get through here as quickly as possible. I'll probably have to make use of the map.
There are Tholians in the control room. When they're in there, they pump in a Tholian-friendly atmosphere and raise the temperature. It will kill us if we try to enter. You'll need to replace the methane-based atmosphere with something we can breathe and lower the ambient temperature in the control room before we can continue as planned.
Okay, why would the Tholians put a system in place that creates a hostile environment for them?
The Tholians are very precise. They want to learn everything they can about the ships they're capturing. All rooms connected to the hangars have their atmospheres exchanged to prevent damage to the systems they're dismantling for study. Also, sometimes they force humanoids to do the work for them, so they'll pump in something we can handle.
Makes sense. Okay, where'd I come from? Okay, from there. So you can see your... Oh. I have to point at the screen like you can see that. You can see your exclamation points up here at the top, kind of giving you an idea of where to go. Helps quite a bit. Alright, so closed methane gas vents. Vent control room atmosphere. Create an oxygen-based atmosphere. Ta-da! Okay. Let's see. Let's look at our map here. Okay, I think I want to go to the... I don't remember, but I think I want to go to the right. There's an accolade somewhere up here. And it's not in this room. Maybe it's this room. If not, we'll just trace back the way we just came. Okay. Wasn't there. Now, I've seen 2 different ones so far, which is why I want to see what it is this time. Nope, this is a different one. Examine the corpse. Nope, it's the same one as I got the first time. He's dead, Jim. Who's Jim? Alright. I know that was reference to bones. Okay, let's check our map again. We want to go straight down here, okay. Here. FFF. And check our map. Where's our map? Okay, we want to go this way. And then this way. This way. And lower the ambient temperatures. Cutscene. And the Tholians kind of pass out or die. And I will say, yeah, Star Trek has had an ingenious imagination when it comes to a lot of things. The Tholians was the worst imagined race possible. A 3-year-old could have imagined them. I mean, the model for Tholians suck. I'm just saying. Species 8472, or the Undying, they're called in this game. You know, definitely took some imagination. But not these guys. Not the Tholians. Just saying. Alright, we're in the control room. Open the door, and here comes the cavalry.
The Tholians will send someone to investigate.
Alright, basically we have 4 jobs here that need to be done, and we have 4 people, including myself. So we need to send each one of these guys on a task, on something to deactivate. I already know who to send, because I've already done this twice. But we're going to talk to them anyway, just for pure, voiceover entertainment.
We need to work together. What do you want me to do?
What's your specialty?
I was the helm officer on the Enterprise before everything went to hell. But I'm really handy with heavy machinery, like those clamps holding the ship. I know I can take care of those and get us free. If you need me to do something else, maybe I could work on that web shield. It will need to come down before we can fly out of here. Or the ship's power. I know every inch of the old girl. If I could figure out the Tholian interface, I might be able to connect to the ship and restore the power remotely.
Okay, so he's going to do the clamps.
We need to work together.
So we're going to send him to do clamps. And the reason why we're sending him to do the clamps is because he will perform that task faster. If we watch, see there's a progress bar. So he will do that faster than he would have done something else.
I am here to assist.
What's your speciality?
My first posting in Starfleet was to an ambassador-class vessel. I am familiar with most of the ship's systems, but I spent several months working on a refit of the ship's computer. I am confident I can restore the ship's power levels quickly. Also, I do have some experience with Tholian technology from my time in the Resistance. If you prefer, I could attempt to deactivate the web shield or tractor beams.
So of course we're going to have her do the ship systems.
I am here to assist.
So ship's power level.
What do you require?
Tashiar. She gets tractor beams.
We
Spoiler.
don't have much time. I know a few tricks to take that tractor beam system offline. I'm also fairly confident that with enough time, I can release the docking clamps holding the ship, or take down the Tholian's web shielding.
I don't like her. She's taller than me.
We don't have much time.
And her boobs are bigger than mine. Yep, so as a woman, I have to hate her. Disable a tractor beam. Alright, so that leaves me with the web, which is that little deal right out there. If you watched Enterprise episodes, you're definitely familiar with that. Access web emitters. Disable energy matrix.
Overriding security protocols.
See, the other two are already done. Deactivate Tholian webbing.
I'm changing the targeting subroutines for the tractor beams.
I was just waiting on the tractor beams out there to go off. See, there's the clamp. We would have seen it detached and stuff if we'd been over here watching. But we were too busy talking or listening to long-winded women.
Tractor beam?
Not saying women are long-winded. But, yeah, I kinda am. Okay, so tractor beam disabled. We're gonna run. Come on, get out the way. Get out the way. Get out the way. Head to the ship. It's a cool looking ship. Ambassador is always one of my favorites.
I thought you deactivated all the security protocols.
Yeah, the Ambassador and the Nebula, I think, were two of my favorite classes ships. Oh, and the Nova. I really like the Nova, too. See, with the introduction to this, it means all three of them are in game now.
You want me to do that for you? I know a few things about force fields.
I just turn around and punch her in the mouth. Just punch her in the mouth. How come when female characters in Stowe run, their titties don't bounce? I'm just saying, you ever seen a girl jogging down the street?
Having trouble? You do know that we could have Tholians swarming us any minute, right?
I'm gonna punch you in the face! Right in the face! Go force field.
I thought we took care of everything. Starfleet Protocol 547C clearly states
I don't think the Tholians have heard of Protocol 547C.
Yeah, Vulcan got big old boobies too. I'm just saying. Okay.
She's quite a ship. It's too bad we'll have to sacrifice her to restore the timeline.
And we got a new accolade there. I was gonna read it, but you know, mouthy bitch wouldn't shut up. Yeah, they must have paid that girl, I don't know, $50,000 to, you know, to talk in here, and they wanted to make sure they got their money's worth, so they never let her, you know, shut up. Just a speculation. So there she is, ladies and gentlemen, the Ambassador class starship. She's pretty. She does handle quite well. Now, I'm going to take a quick minute here to rearrange my HUD and bring this up because all my stuff is all jacked up now. None of this is the way I had it or wanted it. And I have to just get rid of this, get rid of this. And then I need to put my distributed shields where I want them. Distribute shield power to 1 there so I can hit it on my Naga. Alright, we're just going to go like this. You can see all these, there's a bunch of abilities down here I've never used. So, you know, this is kind of an interesting fight. You're using a new ship with new abilities, new officers. You know, it just completely jacks your interface all up. That is bad.
Captain, I'm detecting Tholian mesh weavers headed for our position.
So we have to defeat the mesh weavers. Drop down to half impulse for turning. Go back up to full. She does turn pretty good in this. I did play with it on my engineer. The model you get doesn't turn quite as well as this particular one does. But that's okay. There we go. Oh, and we gotta turn everything on auto here. See, like they put a turret on this ship. I don't know why. What am I shooting at? Tactical team, a very good skill. Very useful skill. Replenishes the shields and it does damage to the enemy. There's a few cool skills on here I've noticed that I do kind of like. Fighting here. Not warp plasma. This one. Photonic shockwave. That actually seems pretty cool. It does kinetic damage to every enemy ship around here. Ooh, polar-ion cannons. So that's the downfall about these heavy cruisers. You know, they get in behind you a lot. You can't keep your forward weapons to bear on them a lot of time. Tri-cobalt devices coming in. This kinetic damage thing here also destroys those incoming torpedoes too. So I may get one. I may end up picking that up and see if I can find it. Photonic shockwave on my main. That would be real handy for destroying incoming torpedoes. Did it work? Here comes some backup. And my hull was getting a little damaged there. I'm too busy talking, looking around and stuff to actually do it. But that's okay. We didn't die. That ship's dead.
Unknown ship detected. Vessel is transmitting Federation and Monaco. Building refuge is no longer on vessel.
Looks like we could use some help.
Yes, we could. Oh, my weapons are offline. There we go. Fire it well. I just like the way it looks. You see phasers shoot out everywhere from the ship. I think it's kind of cool. And we destroyed one with that volley. Oh, there's some loots.
We took a hit. Phasers are partially offline. We'll need to work together to take out this last ship.
I don't know if he's gonna try to come to that plasma or not, but got a bunch of little fighters running around here, so that'll be helpful on them. Yep, I think he entered the plasma. Okay, all the fighters are dead. That's one of those temporal vessels showed up to help us.
The way is clear, and the temporal anomaly has been stabilized. Head for the anomaly enterprise. We'll put you back where you need to be.
Who are you? How do you know where we need to be?
That's my job. The details aren't important. Restoring the timeline is. Get moving. The Tholians are already starting to regroup.
Alright, setting course. Ah, we gotta hit it
The way
again.
is clear, and the temporal... That's my job.
Thanks for the help. Now we're setting course. There we go.
Restoring the timeline is. Get moving. The Tholians are already starting to regroup.
So, at full impulse, it's somewhere over here. We can see the arrow up on our map. Nope, there it is right there. Fly through the anomaly. Where am I? What am I doing here?
I'm sure you've realized by now, you're part of a very different timeline. This one is an aberration that we are here to correct. It would be irresponsible of us to let you go back in time with the Enterprise C, and compromise that timeline as well.
What are you going to do with me then?
We'll send you back to your time. There are still some very important events in the 25th century that you need to be a part of.
So how do I get back?
As soon as the Enterprise C returns to its correct place in history, the timeline should right itself.
Oh, I guess that worked. So I'm assuming we are heading back to the proper time. There we go. And we're back in our ship, and you notice all my bridge officers are gone. My entire interface that I spent probably 15-20 minutes setting up is all jacked to hell. So I'll end up having to redo that. That is my huge complaint with that mission. That's wrong, man. Like, I remember which one I had in there. No, it wasn't that one. I think it was this guy. Yeah, it was him. Okay. And then 5 of 7 there. And then Chizuk there. And then I don't remember. Was it Harry Kim? Maybe it's Harry Kim. Maybe not. Maybe it was. What? No, it was Luke. Maybe it was Luke. Was it Luke? Yeah, it was Luke. Okay. So now we scan for the anomaly. So we have to scan. And you can't be moving when you do this particular scan. Alright. That's strange, sir. I thought I had something on sensors, but it's gone. Everything is quiet. No Tholians, no other ships, or are within range of the anomaly. Starfleet Command wanted us to investigate isn't here either. We can depart the system on your order, sir. Good, depart. And we're off. Dum-da-da-dum, da-da-dum. Okay, and then we are going to head back to Starfleet. Now we can just hail them here, but I want to go back. That's the ambassador right there. All decked out, looks like Riemann shields. And here we are, back at our space dock. And we have about 19 minutes till the servers come down. And we're almost done, folks. We just gotta claim our reward. And then we're gonna take a quick look at that and the uniform. Because I haven't even seen a uniform yet. I need to see what it was called too, because I completely forgot what the uniform's called. I think it's Temporal something. I don't remember now. That way I make sure we get the right uniform. Let's see, come on down. Come on, come on, come on. Come on, come on, come on. Come on down, we're beaming down. Ah, that's so funny. That's so funny. Now, there are a lot of loading screens in this, and, you know, because of my shitty connection on the satellite, I get longer loads than I should. But, you know, what can you do? Except pause the recording. Which I could have done that. There, I'll do that, because I don't know how long it's going to take. Alright, here we go. Beamed into Earth space dock, and we're going to go turn in our mission and get our ships. I don't know if anybody else is having this problem, but no matter what, when I beam in someplace, it usually, my health always goes down to about half. I don't know why. Okay. So, let's talk to Engineer Callie, and so we're going to receive our special requisition pack, support cruiser for the ambassador, and the support cruiser retrofit ambassador. Retrofit will be for the rear will be what, admiral lower half, I think, maybe upper half, and then this one will be for a lieutenant. Yeah, that's good. Okay, we get yesterday's Enterprise uniform, which we haven't seen. Okay, so let's go to our inventory. Let's just kind of look. Info. Requisition pack for Enterprise, Ambassador class. Okay, this one's for a commander. And they both look identical. There's no change whatsoever in the way they look. And this one's for the, okay, Rear Admiral, lower half. That's when you get that one. So, about the same time you would get, like, your Sovereign class vessel. Sovereign, or, the Griffin, or, I can't remember, the Voyager. Alright. So first, actually I should have went in space dock, shouldn't I? Alright, let's see what this uniform looks like. Yesterday's Enterprise was the name of it. Actually, let's change our outfit here to our uniform. That's our uniform. That's the mirror image uniform. Alright, let's go to Taylor. And we want to modify this one. Kind of bring it in a little bit so we can see her. Okay, we don't need to change the body or anything. Okay, there we go. Yeah, toss mirror image. So what was that? Shit, temporal? I think it said temporal Enterprise, something like that. So the Wrath of Khan, Next Generation, Mirror Universe. No, toss mirror universe. Okay, that's the one we got on. Enterprise. Vice Admiral coat. Hey, yeah, look kind of cool. I ain't seen that one. Okay, where the hell is it? The mirror image Enterprise. I kind of like that one. That's from like the one T'Pol was wearing. There's T'Pol's regular shirt, but the one she was wearing in the mirror universe. What the hell is it? Original series. So I got the Wrath of Khan. Huh. Okay, let's... Oh, some type of badge thing for Yesterday's Enterprise. That's what we got. Yesterday's Enterprise, right? Let me double check. Let's cancel that. Matter of fact, I'll pause it here while I look for it. Okay, so yeah, basically, the only thing we got that is Yesterday's Enterprise is the sash across the chest and this belt. That's it. That's all we got. So that's kind of lame. It's kind of extremely lame. Yep, that's really super duper lame. Okay, exit. Exit. Yeah, that's extremely lame, guys. I was actually expecting a whole uniform pack. I mean, it's the 3rd anniversary. I mean, you know, I would expect something better than just a belt and a sash. That's really lame. Okay. Change my outfit and put my fleet uniform on, which is just a default uniform. Alright, so since I'm a Rear Admiral, we need to check and make sure we have enough space in our, basically a garage, our space dock, whatever. We have a slot open for a ship. This is the 3rd part of this video that I'm going to have to put together, and it's 35 minutes. This could probably run about an hour is what this has ran. For that, I am sorry, guys. Let's see. Savick. Keeping that one. Keeping that one. That one's from last year. That's our Odyssey. Could get rid of that one. Keeping that one. Keeping that one just because I really like it. That is our multi-vector assault mode. We're keeping that one. And I had to buy that one, so I'm keeping that one. So I don't believe I have any. Let's see. Yeah, retrofit use. Current maximum ships. Okay, so I'm gonna have to get rid of one. Okay, I'm gonna get rid of the Vulcan ship because I can always pick it up later because I bought it on the C store. and I really don't use it. And like the Olympia, you know, the Odyssey, this is the one that gave us for free, so I can't re-get it if I get rid of it. Nightingale I'd have to buy with, I would have to buy with, what do they call it, dilithium, if I wanted it again. Same with this low tier one. I just like the way it looks. The multi-vector I could sell and get back if I wanted to. And this one I bought out of the auction house. The mirror image science vessel. Okay, so yeah, we'll get rid of this one. So discharge the USS Savick. U.S.S. There's a Savick. S-A-V-I-C-K. Get rid of it. I'm gonna have to buy me some more ship slots. Actually, I probably should have got rid of my Delta Flyer, which is also both these were C-store purchases, so I could have picked them up. But usually, you only need one small craft, and since this girl's a science, I'll probably stick with Vulcan. I keep Delta Flyer on my main because he's an engineer. Okay, so use. We can deal with the name later. Okay, so it's USS Grant. Let's ready the starship. We just want to kind of take a look at it here, see what it looks like. We don't really care about anything else. I have tried to go over there to customize the ship, and you can't change any of the parts or anything on it. All you can change is the, you know, the material, the skin, you know, what color it is, kind of thing. But that's all you can change. And once I get to Commander on Dar, the character we are running in our Let's Play, then this will be the ship I'll be using on him when he gets to a Commander. So there it is. Not a bad ship. We take off, we go to half impulse here. And you'll see it doesn't turn quite as well as it did when we were in the combat in the one in the mission. But overall, I like the ship. I'm gonna outfit it on my engineer. I'm gonna outfit it up really nice, and I'm gonna use it from time to time on there. I'm gonna get it its own gear instead of using my Borg set on it. I'm gonna use, I'll just get a new set of gear for it because I really like it. I did a patrol mission on it using my main, and yeah, this is a cool ship. I really like this ship, and said I've always liked the design. It was one of my favorites. But anyway, so we're gonna cut it here, boys and girls. That has been the 3rd anniversary mission to get your new Ambassador class starship on the Federation side. Tomorrow I will be working on the Klingon side, and we will see what that looks like, because I haven't even looked at it yet. So can't wait to see what they come up with for the Klingons. Till next time, remember, comment, rate, and subscribe so you are notified when all these new videos come out. So until then, I will see you in game.